Welcome back to Yoshi Entertainment, everybody. So, y'all remember the movie X-Men Last Stand? I'm just using this as like a reference and an analogy, so just bear with me. In the movie X-Men The Last Stand, whenever they were trying to fight Magneto and figure out some kind of way to stop him, Wolverine used himself as sort of like a decoy, and Magneto hemmed them up by that, adamantium that was in him, and he slammed them on the ground, and he looked at him with that accent that I'm about to butcher, and he said, "You never learn, do you?" And he said, "Well, actually, we do." And then Beast came out of nowhere and stabbed him with the anti-serum and took his powers away. I guess unlike that, some people actually really do never learn. Like this, Exhibit A. Y'all all know who this is by now. He goes by the name on his social media account, Chef Wade, but I'm not going to even give him the respect of calling him a chef because last time I checked, he didn't go to anybody's culinary school. So he can be Cook Way as far as I'm concerned. But anyways, so this young man got back on social media and posted another not apology because I guess he's still losing endorsements. He also resigned from his day job. I guess he was like a lawyer or something like that, if I remember correctly. He put up this apology. And again, I called it a not apology because in the entire apology, if you actually read it, people were saying, oh, well, he's taking accountability, blah, blah, blah. But that's so easy for anybody to say who's either ignorant or who this doesn't even really apply to. And there were a lot of women in the comments saying, pointing out, there's a lot of people up here trying to accept an apology by this man, and they're not even a part of the target audience of the apology, the not apology, is supposed to be aimed at. So they need to go sit down somewhere because this doesn't even involve them. And second of all, I'm still struggling to see where the accountability is in this not apology. I'm still struggling to see where he said, you know what? I did what I did because I wanted to. It was wrong and I should not have. I'm sorry. That entire apology, he could have kept this to himself again. Because it was a whole lot of, oh, I was depressed and I was on alcohol. I was an alcoholic. I was struggling with that. And, listen, we're glad that you're in a better place, but your alcoholism was not an excuse for you to willingly, as a grown behind man, get on the internet and do what you did. We would have accepted that a lot more if it would have been, like I said, you know what? Despite what I was going through, I had no right to get on the internet and make other people's lives harder. Just because you're going through, just because you're addicted, just because you got pain and trauma, does not mean you have the right to get on the internet and cause somebody else pain and trauma. If that's the case, all of the women that he drugged, all the women, especially the one he went after personally, they should all get on the internet because of the pain and trauma he caused them and talk about him like a dog and the men that look like him. And another thing I hate is these people who keep putting words in his mouth, talking about, oh, we understand you're a changed man. Just, keep on cooking and, doing you. This apology does not insinuate a changed person. Just because somebody has apologized does not mean they've changed, and it doesn't mean their apology is genuine. And again, the moment he puts out an apology that's not about himself and his pain, but what he chose to do, because I don't know why we feel like we have an excuse to hurt people just because we're hurt. Like, that is one of the stupidest things next to a random box of rocks on the street that I have ever heard. And it's dumb and it needs to stop. But the moment he stops making it about his pain and the pain that he was going through, and he starts to make it about the pain he chose to inflict on other people that he had no right to inflict, then we'll know that he's a changed man and he actually means what he says. I guarantee you, if his vitriol was directed to black men, they wouldn't be saying some of the stuff that they're saying, that we're overreacting, that we're making it seem like it's bigger than what it is, and that, oh, it was like years ago, And there were even people saying, oh, well, his tweets didn't really hurt anybody, or they didn't unalive anybody. And the question I have for that is, did you not read his tweets? Did you not read about the child that he disrespected and talked about like a dog, who contemplated possibly unaliving herself because of the stuff that he said to her for no actual reason? And I can bet you money that if he would have said this stuff about some white women, listen, it wouldn't have took no 8 years, because some of the stuff he said was back in 2015 and 2016. Wouldn't have took no 8 years for them to come for his job. No, that job would have been snatched up in record time, and if this would have been directed towards some white women. So don't play those games. Oh, it was back in 2015, because if it was about somebody else, that's when he would have lost his job back in 2015. I don't know why in this society, in the black community, we have taken our empathy and respect and thrown it in the trash can, and why we have to have gone through something that somebody went through to be able to put ourselves in their shoes and use some kind of compassion. But we need to fix that expeditiously. And we also need to keep like this same energy for all the other people that like to get on the internet and disrespect us. We need to keep making noise. We need to keep letting people know you're not just going to disrespect us for no reason and us not do or say something about it. Because we've been not doing and saying stuff about it for years. Not the same anymore. We need to keep the same energy for anybody who feels like they can disrespect us. Because clearly it seems like mostly the women are the ones that are fighting against this kind of stuff. I'm not saying that there aren't any men out there that aren't, but it's mostly the women. At least we had to get the ball rolling for the most part. And we need to keep it rolling because we don't have to put up with this and we shouldn't have to. But anyways, y'all let me know what y'all think and how y'all feel down in the comments respectfully. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Y'all be blessed.